Hey guys, I'm Joe Bereta, and this is SourceFed. Who the heck is Joe Biden? I went outside and asked a bunch of people on the street, and they all replied with, I don't know, who the F is Joe Biden? I was like, hey, don't answer my question with a question, especially when it's a profane version of the same question that I asked you, idiot. You can drop the idiot if you want, because it's very mean. So what I gathered from all that is that a bunch of people don't really know who Joe Biden is. Psst, guess what? He's the vice president, like, right now. But guess what, you guys? That's not all that he's done or been. He's more than just the current vice president. And that's why I am here. Me, Joe Bereta, presenting to you Joe Biden. Joe on Joe. It's not a weird sex thing. Yet. Joe Biden has spent more than half of his life playing around in the Senate. He's also the first dude from Delaware and the first Roman Catholic to fill the vice president's shoes. Joe was born on November 20th, 1942 in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Yes, that same Scranton, but he soon moved to Delaware with his family. He was the oldest of 4 Catholic children, and his daddy managed a car dealership. Growing up, economically, his family jumped around the lower and middle classes. He was a stutterer, but he got over that later in life by reciting poetry into a mirror. Artsy! He was also diagnosed with asthma, an affliction that kept him out of the Vietnam War. In high school, he was known more for his accomplishments on the football field than for his academics. And this is also when his leadership cream started to rise to the top of the Biden butter bucket. That is an odd sentence that I wrote. Joe went on to get by in college, graduating near the bottom of his class at the University of Delaware with political science and history majors. He then picked up his doctorate from Syracuse, even though he thought the whole law school thing was totally boring. And he passed the Delaware bar in 1969. Biden, quote, fell ass over tin cup in love at first sight with Nelia Hunter in college, and they were swiftly married. Together they pumped out 3 kids as he jumped into the law world. But that didn't last, and he jumped into politics soon after. In 1972, at age 29, Biden became the 6th youngest man to ever get elected to the Senate when he upset his Delaware opponent. However, right after his triumph, his wife and kids were in an automobile accident when looking for a Christmas tree. Tragically, his wife and daughter were killed, and his 2 boys were severely injured. This was a dark time for Biden. He even considered committing suicide, but his commitment to the people of Delaware, and more importantly to his family, pulled him through the tragedy. He was sworn into office from his son's hospital bedside, and he never relinquished his role in the Senate until he was elected VP in 2008. And he left the Senate with the 15th longest tenure in history. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about a couple more things. Biden remarried in 1977, and he and his lady birthed another daughter. In 1987, he was like, I want to be president, and he went for it. Then he was accused of plagiarizing a British politician's speech, so he dropped out. But then he went to the doctor to check out some severe headaches, and 2 life-threatening aneurysms were discovered in his body, so he had surgery, and as a result, blood clots developed in his lungs, had another surgery, and 7 months later, he's back in the Senate, like a boss, a senator boss. 2008, he's like, I want to try to be president again, but he gets throttled by Hillary Clinton and Obama in the primaries, but he is selected by a victorious Obama to run on the Democratic ticket with him. And now he works behind the political scenes. Some say it's because he's prone to saying some pretty stupid stuff, but he's actually, after a pretty rocky start, one of the president's most valued advisors. If Joe Biden is anything, he's likable and he's a hard worker. He's a former chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, he opposed the Gulf War, and he helped create the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act and the Violence Against Women Act as chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. He also did a bunch of other stuff, but like a Joe Biden attending law school, I am bored. Gonna go do something else. Probably gonna go play some Earthbound, because that game is awesome. So what do you guys think of Joe Biden? Let us know in the comments down below, and after you're done doing that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit this annotation for more SourceFed goodness. My name is Joe Bereta, this is SourceFed, you are you. Thanks for watching, I'll see you on the next video.